knocking out this shock over here. So we're going to be replacing the oil with some shock fluid here by Maxima, and possibly replacing the seal head with an all-ball seal head, as well as, of course, respringing it with a stiffer spring as mentioned earlier. But that spring is actually off for powder coat, so we're going to have to wait on that. I'll knock out as much as I can today, so let's get right to work. Alright guys, so first we're going to start by emptying out the nitrogen out of the shock's bladder. We're going to put a small mark here so we can align it properly once we're done. Now we're going to go ahead and empty this out. We're going to cover it with our hand and face it away from us, so if the bladder is damaged, it won't spray oil into our face. There we go. Now I'm going to remove the valve stem core. Next I'm going to loosen up these locking rings. Pretty loose actually. There you go, that's loosened. Here we're just going to go ahead and pry the bumper down, if possible, without trying to damage it. You can use MPPL, Maxima, or WD-40 to help get this shock bumper moving out of the way if it's kind of seized in place. Get some of that MPPL in there. Alright guys, so we have our shock bumper free now. You guys can see it's sliding up. Here it is. Now we're gonna start disassembling the shock a little bit here. Just gonna slide that up a little more. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and take that retaining collar out. Now we're gonna stand our shock up. Now we're just gonna slide the spring, all of its little pieces out of place. There's our shock without the spring. Here what I'm going to do is get a little bit of grease and just spread it on the bottom of the shaft here, just so we don't have to deal with that shock bumper seizing up in the future. Alright, now we're going to slide down our shock bumper just a little bit just to move it out of the way for now. Alright guys, now we're going to take off this cover here, and I do not have a punch at the moment, so I'll be using the next best thing I have. There we go. So I just got cleaning up these lock rings in the parts washer. They came out looking pretty fresh. So now I'm just going to go through and file down some of the sharp edges on these lock rings, because some of the edges are pretty sharp from adjustment, from things like setting sag and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and file those down. Alright guys, it's the next day and we're gonna get back to work on reassembling the shock. And just a little sneak peek for you guys. So yeah, we're gonna get back to reassembling the shock today, and hopefully that works out. guys, now we're going to go ahead and install our nitrogen bladder assembly. Push this down, some oil should come up. Let's add a little bit more. There you go, that should be good. You get a little bit of overflow here, no big deal. Alright guys, now we're going to use a bicycle floor pump, not a compressor, but a bicycle floor pump to pump up the nitrogen bladder to 45 psi just to get it to seat. Guys, so the circlips are all in place, our seal head's in place, and now we're just going to pump a little bit of air to seat our bladder as well as the seal head, and then we can wrap this shock up for tonight. So here I'll try and move this and maybe you guys can see the piece kind of seal against the ring. Did you see that? Hear those little pops? Just one little shot of air, and there we go. Alright, now we're going to reinstall. Alright, now we're going to reinstall our cover here. Give a few taps with the mallet. Alright guys, so the shock dampening assembly is all together and it is working very, very smoothly. Actually pretty surprised on how smooth that whole process went for me, because this is my first time servicing a shock. And yeah, I mean, the only part that really gave me trouble were getting the little clips out of the bottom here and the bladder, and filing down the nut to remove all the little valves for dampening and stuff. Little shim stacks. So I'm really happy how this went. This went super smoothly, and as you guys can see, super smooth action on the shock. My bumper was actually a little bit seized on there, so I threw a little grease on there so it won't seize up. And yeah, so overall assembly went smoothly. Of course, we are still waiting on the shock spring, which is out getting powder coated right now, and yeah, we also need to get the nitrogen charged, but it's nice that this is working smoothly, not leaking. The seal's holding up. Again, we have that all ball seal head in there, so that's working pretty well. And yeah, and if there is a little bit of oil on the shaft, that's just because it's oil sitting inside, like on top of the seal itself. I didn't get all of that out of there, but yeah, the shock and the forks have to break in, which is no surprise now that they're freshly serviced. But yeah, everything went smoothly, guys, and super happy with this. Alright guys, and here's our shock spring. As you guys can see, it's all powder coated, royal blue, and looks amazing. It's a little dark here on camera, but in sunlight and just brighter light in general, You can see all the little flakes in the color and it absolutely looks amazing. I got this powder coated at GTZ Powder Coating in San Antonio, Texas, so I'll leave a link to his website down below.